Hey RV family, keep it tight. My name is Jay Morris, a review guy, and I'm back again to bring you another video, and in this one I'm going to be covering the new NF album entitled The Search. So Nate, NF, what can you say about him? He's really raps Black Sheep. He's raps Outkast. He wrote a whole song about that on Perception, his 2017 record, and even on this album, on the track When I Grow Up, he talks about how, like, it's kind of how I like it though, being the underdog. Feeding his music through the broken lens of heartache and sorrow and depression and anxiety, he puts across these very cleanly written songs with powerful flows, powerful messages that genuinely feel like they come from the heart. He lost his mother earlier in his life to pills, and that really fueled him. And the one thing about NF that separates him from a lot of other rappers nowadays is the fact that he lets his negativity motivate him. He lets the negative emotions make him have a drive to do better and work harder. And it's hard to really argue with that his drive isn't just so good. Each of his records always have this theme, some sort of intertwining linkage that links the whole project together in this cohesive thing to make it all make sense on one level. I mean, Mansion was about how, like, he built this mental mansion for his thoughts, for his fears, for his burdens, and he didn't want to let anyone in, and he kind of, like, lives in there with his demons. And then you had Therapy Session, which was basically what it sounds like, him venting to basically himself, like on the other side of the couch, talking to himself about his own issues and going even deeper on some of the themes that he carried on in Mansion. And then you had 2017's Perception, which was really a growing method, a time when he was kind of coming more open with his emotions and just being very blunt and hitting you full force with it and talking about just more blunt topics such as love and self-hatred and things like that, to where the lyricism was still very punchy. It was still just turned up to 100, but the way that he portrayed it was just much more to your face and straightforward. And now we have The Search, which The Search is basically about him trying to forget, or at least try to erase his burdens for better things, searching for his meaning, searching for who he is, searching for the answers to the questions that he has had his entire life. This is over an hour long. It's an hour and 16 minutes. 20 tracks. I genuinely mean it when I say there's not a major dud in this track listing that just makes me just like hate it so much. The beats by NF standards are pretty simple and pretty like basic in terms of what he usually comes through with, but it's always epic. He always has like cinematic pianos, occasionally some violins on like tracks like Time, and he also just loves these harsh drums, sometimes fast drums. I think there's a lot more tracks on this record that he experiments with faster drums. He always likes doing tracks like that, but I feel like this is the most he's ever done on a singular project. His flows are experimental a lot of times on this record. He likes doing his standard flow, he likes doing his standard singing, but there are some weird flows where he'll have these inflections in his vocal range, where he'll go up and down while he's rapping. There's some very fast rap parts. He'll blend slow and fast in like a millisecond. It'll just happen. He'll be going very slow and then all of a sudden just go into a speedy delivery. And the way it's mixed, it sounds like he doesn't take a breath. The mix is amazing on this record. I mean, I want to sit here and go over every single track so badly, but it'd end up being so long because I just have so much to say about so many tracks on the record. But I'm just going to try to go over some of the just major highlights, starting with the singles. So The Search, the track that opens up the record, it got an amazing music video. I highly encourage you go watch that. This is just a powerful opener. This is kind of this album's intro. Like, if you know NF, he always does a track called Intro. He did, like, Intro 1, Intro 2, Intro 3, and he always kind of has a cinematic, epic piano thing. The vibe of this track is a little bit different than any of the previous intro tracks, so I'm not sure if some people might not really, like, be as, like, down for The Search, but I don't see how you can't be down. This is just a very introspective track where he's kind of addressing himself as it starts out like, "Hey, Nate, how's life? I don't know, it's alright. I've been dealing with some things like every human being and really didn't sleep much last night. I'm sorry, that's fine. I just think I need a little me time. I just think I need a little free time, a little break from the shows and the bus rides. I mean, NF's slogan is real music, and it always is real, because you just feel the emotion from his vocals, from his lyrics, and it takes so much balls, it takes so much guts to come forward with certain emotions, certain negative emotions, certain experiences, certain things you're going through when you struggle with things like depression and anxiety, that I just really respect people that are able to just put it forward in such a blunt way. And even though he is rap's outcast, rap's black sheep, he has such a dedicated fan base that understand what he's trying to get through. And even, I'm trying to remember what track this was from. I can't exactly remember the one track. I forgot to write it down. He says, it's some along the lines of, I like it that my slogan is real music. I built my slogan on real music, but I feel like I'm the fakest. Like, wow. I just want to read some of the lyrics from Another Single Time, which deals with toxic relationships, whether it be friends, family, lover, whatever. He says, even if we both break down tonight and you say you hate me and we go to bed angry, I know everything will be alright. I'll be here waiting. I promise I'm changing. I just need a little time to show you I'm worth it. I know that I can be a difficult person. Like, damn. I'm sure that there's people that maybe don't like NF's flow or whatever, but anyone that can look me in the eyes and say that they don't get the messaging of this record, that they can't feel something to this record, he's just so different. When I Grew Up just features this just playful, childish, like toy piano in the background, and it features one of my favorite beats on the whole record, this havoc-inducing beat. It's by no means like mind-blowing by NF standards, but I love it. I know for a fact this track reached a lot of people that are musicians, because you have things like, anybody want to hear me rap? No, come on, let me play a couple tracks. No, come on, I can spit it really fast. No, you think I should throw this in the trash? No, tricked you, haters go away before I hit you. I am not a beggar or a kiss up. You don't understand, well, I forgive you. I mean, he's living life by a philosophy that I love. If you don't get the message, it's not your message. I was surprised to see why on this track listing, because it's a fairly older track that got a music video and stuff. Didn't expect it to pop up on this track listing. I kind of wish No Name would have, because I maybe prefer No Name a little bit to Why. Why has some nice lyricism and a pretty basic flow, but I still like a lot of the inflections that he sometimes does in his vocal register. It's very powerful, and the overall beat and the vibe of this track sounds like it could have definitely been off of Perception. Hate Myself is one of my favorite tracks because he sounds so vulnerable. His vocals are just cracking and splintering, and they sound like he maybe only did a couple takes and just left it as is because he wanted it to sound that way. It's so fast, but the speed doesn't have much to do with the enjoyability of the track. The chorus is just heartbreaking, it's gut-wrenching, and it really does tell the tale of trying to live life, trying to be the best version of yourself you can when you just don't really like who you are, and wanting to change that, trying to change that, but being beaten down by yourself. But with the quick flows and the drums and the chorus, it just makes a really powerful track near the latter half. I love it. I love some of NF's vocal inflections on the track Only, featuring Sasha Sloan, the lone feature on the record. I wish that Sasha's vocals weren't chipmunked like they are, because I think it distracts from what she maybe could have brought to the track in her entirety, but if you know anything about NF, you know that he likes doing that, especially on Perception. He really likes chipmunking stuff and kind of pitching it up and all that, so that's just one of his staples. I'm not really going to judge it that much for that. Once again, you have some fast flows, and I especially love how when you get to near that bridge, and he kind of goes up in his register with the reps to dun 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 na 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 na. I just really like that line. There's not really a moment on the track listing that he goes all out with singing or too over the top or tries to push himself that much, which I think is fine. There's not really a track on the record that's equivalent to, say, a Paralyzed, to a Wait, to a Got You On My Mind. I mean, there's so many good tracks on this record, with powerful lyricism, a powerful gut-wrenching delivery. Nate gives his all. You don't hear auto-tune, you don't hear overly embellished backing vocals, you don't hear over-the-top trap beats, you don't hear messaging that is just so cliche and tropish. I just combined the words can I speak? I just combined the word cliche and trope, and it became clope. NF never disappoints. Sure, maybe his beats aren't some of the hardest hitting you're gonna hear. Sure, maybe his messages are rooted in some very basic things. But the way he comes about them, the way he delivers it, the way that he writes his lyrics, the way that he delivers his vocals are just always so impactful, so emotionally invoking, so deep-rooted. When you listen to an NF record, everything just has to shut off, and you just have to absorb it. And through 20 tracks, over an hour, well over an hour worth of material, NF came through with an album that I think is one of his best. Where would I put it? I think that his best record, personal opinion here, is Mansion. I would put Mansion at the top. I'd put The Search probably at 2, tied with Therapy Session at 2 and 3, because I really like both of them about equally. And then I'd put Perception at the bottom, but by no means is Perception a bad record. Check this record out, please. Even if you're not a fan of rap, even if you're like a heavy metal fan, the emotion is still poignant. And if you like lyricism, if you like just powerful feelings, you're gonna like this record. I'm going to be giving this record a 9.5 out of 10. And that is a wrap. Please stay for the on-screen links and videos that you might be interested in. Have you heard this new NF record, The Search? If you have, let me know in the comment section below what you thought of it. I'd love to know your opinion of this record and discuss it with you. Subscribe to the channel if you're new here. It'll help me out a lot. Like this video if you enjoyed it. Smash that notification bell to be notified of my future uploads. My name is Jay Morse, Review Guy. I'm signing off, saying farewell.